Okay, real quick, anything else, Reese, that you need to add, sir?
Just one more thing. I'm a regular at the Prison Planet forums, and they all brought up a good point here, and that's where do chemtrails factor in the equation? Because I know you were talking with a doctor about lower immune systems in Mexico as possibly being widespread so fast, and we know that there's heavy metals in these chemtrails, so they've been spraying us so long.
That's what she was saying, was that we know barium salts and aluminum dioxide and all this lowers immune system. That is a very interesting point.
Yes, sir.
Excellent point, Reese.
The Prison Planet forum for that.
Yeah, we need to link to some of the Prison Planet forum articles that people are writing and compiling and putting together. You know, I was doing searches Saturday for our special report, trying to find the fake newscast that Nightline did in 2002, where they just started out with a newscast saying we've been attacked with smallpox, people are dying, martial law. They showed footage of real riots after hurricanes and real looting, and people panicked. And it was meant to be a psyop. Then at the end of the show, they said, oh, this was just a drill. And then they did it the next 4 nights as things unfolded, continuing to announce it as if it was real. I taped that when it was on, and by the second night, and I obviously can't find it in all our storage buildings and the rest of it. It used to be just me around here, so it's all a big jumbled mess. But I couldn't find that on YouTube or Google, but I did find something I'd never seen. Now, I knew they did Dark Winter. Cue that up, please, that video. I knew they did Dark Winter. I talk about that in my famous July 25th TV show, where I say, call the White House, tell them don't stage terror attacks in the World Trade Center and blame it on their asset Osama bin Laden. And I read the AP article about Dark Winter, about martial law in Texas and Oklahoma because of smallpox breaking out. So I had the drill article in July. From June, when they did the drill, here is the June drill by Homeland Security. We're going to play this again later. It's so important. I didn't get to it all yesterday at the end of the show, the Sunday show. Here is the drill. Homeland Security puts it on that didn't exist supposedly till 2002. And in it, they're saying Saddam Hussein's working with the Taliban and Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan, and we've got to hit them for attacking us. See, they showed these fake newscasts to different universities and medical groups. They showed it to the feds and local first responders to scare them into taking smallpox shots, which they then refused to do, as you know. But this was all preparatory. You can see how premeditated and wicked all of this is, so that's coming up later. Another big issue is I'd forgotten about this in all my bird flu research and all the doctors we'd interview, and Dr. Sherry Tenpenny just talked about this, medical doctor. It's proven that Tamiflu, owned by Rumsfeld, the Bushes, and Obama's got a big stake in it, whose stock's soaring right now, that Tamiflu, when you take it, does knock out the virus, but causes it to only be certain mutations that survive, so it makes it that much more powerful and resistant, just like antibiotics with bacteria. So you got people worldwide buying Tamiflu, all the people that are, you know, who medicalize everything, all the people that are scared, all the hypochondriacs. And I don't blame you. I was never a hypochondriac. Once you have children, you kind of become a hypochondriac for them. You know, you love them so much. And they're putting them on Tamiflu everywhere, which then, if they've got any other regular flu viruses in them that people come in contact with every day, folks. You come in contact with flu and regular cold viruses and everything else, and your body defeats it. Well, this thing mutates them and makes them that much stronger. So everybody's gobbling this. That's why so many deadly bacteria come out of Latin America, because they sell antibiotics like candy there. And people are always gobbling it for viral infections, which makes the bacteria that much stronger. Okay, let's run through a bunch of calls here. You know, I'm surprised. I did the Saturday show and the Sunday show. The Saturday show I came in was only internet streams at Infowars.com. We had about 9,000 listeners that tuned in to the pretty much unannounced live show, and a few thousand PrisonPlanet.tv viewers. And we got calls from Mexico City, you name it, calls from where they had quarantines in Canada. Today, here's the big show on AM and FM, shortwave, satellite, internet, you know, just dwarfing the Saturday show and dwarfing even the Sunday show. And no one is calling from Mexico City. I want to give that number out again, the local number, because some people can't call 1-800 numbers from Mexico into the U.S. What's the toll-free number into our board here directly in Austin, Texas? Can you guys punch that up for me again, please, so I can see it, the number? It's 512-646-1776, 512-646-1776. 512-646-1776 or 888-201-2244. All right, let's go to some calls. Randy in California, where they have outbreaks of this. Randy, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex, this is a bit off topic. I'm 17 years old. I'm trying to wake up everybody to the New World Order. I try to explain everything to my parents, my teachers, my relatives. I try and cover all the issues from corruption, 9/11 truth, chemtrails, depopulation, economics. I'm trying to get people out of the left-right paradigm. Nobody is listening to me. I promote your website everywhere. I go on graffiti rampages spraying Infowars.com all over the city. Recently got caught for that, got put in jail. But now that I'm out, I print out hundreds of custom posters I make myself, and I tape them everywhere. I'm trying to get the word out, trying to wake everyone up.
Well, let me just say this. When I was, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, my parents still didn't really listen to me. Even when I was a well-known radio talk show host by the age of 23, 22, my parents still didn't really respect me. Now that I have a wife, children, and they see that I pay my bills on time, they now respect me and ask for advice. It is normal when you're a teenager or a young man for older folks not to listen to you. They don't think it's your place. There's cases of a young person running in and saying a building's on fire, famous cases, and people laugh at them and don't believe it and then walk outside 20 minutes later because they smell smoke. So don't feel bad. Now know that handing out flyers, putting up posters, things like that, if it's done well, that will affect people. People are listening. Listen, Fox News, CNN, MSNBC are saying they love Ron Paul and hate the New World Order now. So they're really, even CIA agent Anderson Cooper comes on, Astor Fortune head, and says, I don't like the New World Order. The people aren't going to like hearing about the New World Order at the G20. So we are the majority. It's just that people arrogantly are disrespecting you. Just keep warning them. You're only trying to save them. And have enough you already have enough respect for yourself, more than most, to be bold. That's the first step. The other step is not caring. And just to continue what you're doing. But go ahead, Randy.
The youth if the older people are not going to wake up, it's up to the youth to take over, to take the baton and continue the fight. Because if the old people are already compartmentalized, they can't understand. Young people with a fresh, clean slate, they'll be able to wake up and take the system down. Look,
it's always the young that are instrumental in any renaissance or awakening or enlightenment. And most people, whether they're young or old, have been mesmerized by the television or kind of in a comfort zone. It's hard to shock them out of that, and it always looks like you're not having an effect until the whole thing collapses. Believe me. We're having victories. They're canceling Trans-Texas NAFTA highways. They're having to back off on gun bans. They're having to back off on the North American Union. The Euro expansion is failing in Europe. The Americas Union is failing in Latin America. The bankers are universally hated. Congress has a 9% approval rating. Believe me, folks, don't listen to Tokyo Rose and the New World Order when they tell you, lay down, GI, you're losing the fight. I mean, that's kind of like Baghdad Bob. As you can see, mortars exploding 2 miles behind him, saying the Americans have been repulsed. They're 100 miles from Baghdad. I mean, he was and people watched it and almost believed him. I remember people on TV were going, well, maybe it's true. And I said, no, folks, he's a liar. It's propaganda. But it's so bold. In fact, pull up Baghdad Bob. I want to play a clip of him later. Yes, the Americans, we have completely destroyed them. They are 100 miles away, in retreat. We killed 20,000. Let's go ahead and talk to Jared in California. Jared, you're on the air. Come on, Jared. Go ahead, sir.
I'm on.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm the vice president of a club that me and my friend just started at our university. It's called the Free Republic, and we are making Obama deception videos. And the campus coordinator won't let us do a fundraiser where we can hand them out or sell them or anything like that without your permission. So we were just wondering who we could email with that.
Well, look, that's just them being petty and using mind control. It would be for a civil court to decide whether you could hand those out, even if I said you couldn't. Okay? And so you have a student group. You're allowed to operate. If there's no charge against you, you're not guilty until proven innocent. Okay? You're innocent until proven guilty. And so they can't violate your First Amendment. Give them this MP3 file. I tell everybody, make all the copies you want for nonprofit educational purposes. Distribute the film to whoever you want. And the school can't preemptively tell you, oh, we have to, make you bring us all this paperwork before you have your student group being allowed to do this. Okay, so there you go. It's free on YouTube. It's free on Google. You can hand out flyers with the URL address of the YouTube, change the channel version. Stay there. We got Dr. Deagle popping in an hour.